Hello everyone, this is Wolf. Today we are back with some more Space Engineers. Oop, looks like yet another of those drones fell out. While I was configuring the controls for the vector thrust, and I will admit I did make more than one mistake causing an explosion, and this nacelle very neatly popped right off and bounced all over the place. We had some of the drones that came by fall out of the sky. So let's see what we got going on out here. Good, sun's out. No drones in the way. That tree might be actually problematic, but I think I can work around it. And I have this fighter fully loaded up and ready to fight. So let's move forward a bit. Very careful with how we're going to do this. Turrets on, all set to 600 meters. Alright then. Let's see what this fighter can do. My game is really not liking this right now. Alright. It's a stinging adversary. Just have to avoid the missiles. I am taking this very slowly, very carefully, because I know I'm up against a missile launcher. May seem curious as to why I'm putting so much effort into this, because I didn't want to do exactly that. Well, that was just brilliant. Did I lose a thruster? I did lose a thruster. Alright, I've lost a nacelle, which is easily repaired. Not sure why only one of my turrets is firing. Nevertheless, that stinging adversary is going down. So turrets off. Accidentally pause the game. But I guess in the end, this was actually a really perfect test. I proved that the fighter can fly even after having lost a nacelle, although that was a relatively expensive test. And now we can go out and salvage again, so that rotor is going to make flying quite interesting. So let's return to base. And now there's a drifting pursuant that was not there in the hangar entrance. That is just hilarious. Alright, well, let's very carefully nose in. This design is very thin. It's also very heavy, and with all the gyroscopes at 20%, that was me flying with the gyroscopes at 20%. So I'd say it's got the level of maneuverability I wanted if I were to ramp up the gyroscopes and use my upgraded computer. So, regarding last week, I'd like to apologize. My computer is reaching its limits in terms of longevity and functionality. I did not charge this before I went out. Okay, so that was a bit random, but also very important. Let's see, I need the materials for a connector. Let's get stuff for an interior, or for, not for an interior, for a connector as well. And a connector. Come on. A conveyor. I could remember what it is I'm supposed to... And how things are spelled, as we go a lot easier. Alright. Stuck in small grid. And it's stuck in the painting working on. I'm going to need this to extend out a fair bit because those nacelles do spin, and the spinning is quite frankly deadly if there's anything in their pathway. Come on, rotate. But these are all some of the fun little eccentricities of using vector thrust. As you can see, having access to the vector thrust did give the necessary redundancy my fighter needed. The internal thrusters held out wonderfully. I had to take a few hits, but the armor held. The design worked. So let's very carefully dock this. Alright. And press number 8 to dock it in place. Oops. And press number 7 to turn the vector thrust script off. Or at least it should have. I was going to turn the block off. And as you can see, that thruster is trying its best to break the sound barrier. Alright, let's go in and put, let's see, programmable. Alright, now this should be working just fine. And it is still spinning wildly. See, this is one of the unfortunate problems with the vector thrust script. Sometimes it does weird things like this. Alright, so 6 should be the main function. And that stops it. 5 should be standby, which turns it off. Now it's working it. Is that going to be moving into position? Nope, it's going to keep turning and keep turning. Okay. Let's do a little bit of salvaging by hand. Let's see if I can find that stinging adversary that I chopped in half with a barrage. Okay. Don't see its intact, its cargo container, which got shredded in the process. That's all right. Let's go in here. That's the battery. Where's the? Is it on the below? Remote control. This thing. Well, I guess this remote control got destroyed because that remote control should be right about here. Yeah, I guess this remote control got destroyed. Which is a little surprising because normally they don't, but yeah, so we got these. There's the drifting pursuit that needs to be moved in there, as well as a fleeting rival that fell down out of the sky at some point. There's lots of salvage to have to work on. Currently there's no air traffic out in the air, so right now is probably the best time to do this. So I'm going to get in here and get the platinum first. It's ooh. That Gatling turret's still there. Let me just put out the fire. There we go. There's now ammunition underneath I can't quite get to. Oh, I got to that one. Let's see if I can get the other one. Oh, there's more than one. Alright. See, now this is the tricky one. It's all the way on the other side. Alright. And there we go, easy peasy. Alright. Let's hack these cargo containers real fast. Got gold, alright. Should be the one with platinum in it. And platinum, okay. Still clear. Alright. Throw all of that into cargo container. How did that happen? Didn't take any damage to the thrusters. When I docked this thing, I didn't turn the thrusters off. Oh, the inertial dampeners are on. How did... Interesting. I bashed up my miner a little bit. More than a little bit, actually. Lost some thrusters. Should be okay, but I do need to get that landing gear back. I think maybe when I was docking my fighter, the inertial dampeners were turned off on this thing and remained off. I'm not sure. Oh well. It's fixable. Alright. I'm not sure why I grabbed this stuff for a connector when I need a landing gear, but I just did that. Let's put our landing gear back. Alright. Still going to have to do some fun switch lock stuff. Alright. Still has plenty of lifting capability. No damage blocks other than those two destroyed thrusters, which will be easy enough to replace. And I will make more than enough from this particular bit of salvage right in front of me to make it, to recoup it. Alright. Autopilot enabled. Right, I forgot about the remote control block on this one. Okay. As you can see, I can... Oh boy. I can barely lift this whole drifting pursuant as one entity right now because it is so heavy. It is largely intact except for the blocks that were destroyed on crashing and then I ground down. This should be a very nice bit of salvage. Certainly worthwhile to recoup the costs of building that fighter and the damage it sustained. Alright. Ooh boy. It's nice being able to have gyro control when doing this one. Alright. Yeah. You going to fit, or that by modifying it the way I did, yeah. Nope. Oop, upside down. Alright, so by changing the wall sides here, I guess it's just too much. It's not going to fit the drifting pursuant in this opening, which it would have with the half blocks. So that answers yet another question that I've had just sort of hovering around in the background. Oh, that got damaged. How did that get damaged? So everything is always a work in progress with me because I like tweaking things. So I simply view this as Yet another thing to work out in time. And are you going to go in? Yeah, that's right up against the wall. Alright, well. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Let's close the doors, which are probably going to move that thing around quite a bit, but I think it's avoidable. Stinging adversary is attacking. Yippee. Okay. Let's close the main doors. And let's turn our grinding pit. Well, first let's, well, that was a view. Let's get this into position. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, the doors just shifted it right into it. It fits nice and perfectly. Now we all get to get treated to a lovely time lapse of destruction. Well, that was anticlimactic. I'm not altogether sure what happened. It should still be grinding. Unless it's just wedged in there. Yeah, that's what it is. Alright, so I now get to do the one thing I hoped I wouldn't have to do. Which is grind one of these by hand in order to make it fit into the grinding pit. So okay. The difficult part here is when I have to stay away from the grinders because they will quickly kill my character. I need to essentially chop these arms off in an effort to allow this to collapse into it and to fold, so to speak. So I need to chop the arms in such a way that once it disconnects, which we'll do that right now, and then need to get out. Otherwise, flying debris will kill me. That it'll collapse downward and probably properly grind itself. Well, that was certainly entertaining. Alright, well, thank you for watching, everyone. This has been Wolf.